Welcome to our group presentation on Principal Agent in Finance. We are Group 11 and we consist of Alicia Gervin, Andrew Fakadi, Stephen Zhu, and myself,
We are
Callum
Group
Maxwell.
11 and we consist of Alicia Gervin, Andrew Fakadi, Stephen Zhu, and myself, Callum Maxwell.
Our first slide on Principal Agent in Finance is what is Principal Agent.
Our first slide on Principal Agent in Finance
relationship
is what is
where
Principal
one
Agent.
legal entity appoints another
Principal Agent
to act on their
relationship
behalf.
is where one legal entity
The agent
appoints another
must not have any
to act on their
conflict of
behalf.
interest in carrying out
The
the act
agent
for the
must not have
principal.
any conflict of interest
The relationship
in carrying
between the
out
two
the act
parties
for the
is
principal.
commonly referred to as an
The
agency.
relationship between the two parties is
These
commonly referred
relationships
to
are made
as an
legal through the
agency.
use of a contract.
These
A real-life
relationships are made
example
legal
is
through
where
the
an
use of a
investor buys
contract.
shares in an index
A
fund.
real-life example
The
is
fund
where an
manager
investor buys
takes the role
shares
of
in
the
an
agent
index fund.
who maximizes the
The fund
returns
manager
of the
takes
investor
the role of the
who takes
agent
the role
who
of the
maximizes the
principal.
returns of the investor who takes the role of the principal.
When is a principal-agent relationship
When is a
relevant for
principal-agent
SMEs?
relationship relevant for
Principal-agent
SMEs?
relationships occur when one
Principal-agent
party
relationships
assigns a task
occur
to
when
an
one
individual
party
they
assigns
believe
a task
to be capable
to an
of
individual they
understanding and
believe
carrying
to be
out the
capable
task.
of understanding and carrying out the task.
Often SMEs design their business
Often
around being an
SMEs
agent,
design their business
meaning
around
they
being
do
an
work
agent,
for their clients who
meaning
play
they do work for their
play the
clients
role of the
who
principal.
play the role of the
Real-life
principal.
examples of this include
Real-life
hiring of
examples of this
contractors,
include
hiring an
hiring
attorney,
of
and
contractors,
seeking advice
hiring an
of a
attorney,
portfolio
and
advisor.
seeking advice of a portfolio advisor.
There are a significant number of
There are a
responsibilities involved
significant
with
number of
principal-agent
responsibilities
relationships.
involved with principal-agent
With a
relationships.
principal-agent relationship, a
With a
fiduciary
principal-agent
relationship
relationship,
exists
a
regardless of
fiduciary
whether there is a
relationship
written
exists,
contract or not.
regardless of whether there is a written
Therefore,
contract or
the
not.
agent must act in the
Therefore,
best
the
interests of the
agent
principal
must
at all
act on the
times.
best interests of the principal at all
If the
times.
principal provides reasonable instruction,
If the principal
then the
provides
agent
reasonable
must carry out
instruction,
the task.
then the agent must carry out the
These
task.
tasks cannot be intentionally completed to a
These
poor
tasks
standard,
cannot be
as the
intentionally
agent must
completed to a poor
carry out the
standard,
task
as
to
the
the best
agent
of their
must
ability.
carry out the task to the best of their
A
ability.
duty of loyalty is implied with
A
principal-agent
duty of loyalty is
relationships.
implied with
This means
principal-agent
that the agent
relationships.
cannot put themselves in a
This
position
means that the
which would
agent
cause
cannot
any
put
conflicts
themselves
of
in a
interest
position
to
which would
arise.
cause any conflicts of interest to arise.
Hello, I'm Andrew. And how do problems
Hello, I'm
arise
Andrew.
in a PA relationship?
And how do problems arise in a PA relationship?
Conflicts of interest.
Problems arise from conflicts of interest. Conflicts of interest arise when the agent's incentives do not align with the principal's goals. It is important that the principal continues to incentivize the agent to act in their best interests. Because the agency problem escapes very few small and medium-sized enterprises and can be found in a variety of contexts. Some common effects on SME businesses are SME structure, for example, setting a structure that best suits goals and alignments of incentives. The effect of quality performance when principal cannot perfectly monitor an agent's behavior. The effect of informal business, where management may act in their own best interests and in some cases illegal activity, and the effect on financing options that can lead to higher lending rates and informal lending.
How do conflicts of interest arise?
How do conflicts of interest arise? Firstly, lack of incentives, financial and motivational. Secondly, information asymmetry. Principal and agent don't communicate effectively and leave each other in the dark. Thirdly, different levels of risk tolerance between agent and principal. Conflicts of interest often occur between shareholders, owners of a business and its management. An example of this is if management want to diversify into other markets with their eyes set on long-term growth, whereas short-term profitability may be compromised. Shareholders will not agree with this move and a conflict of interest will arise. And so the second major effect on a business is agency cost, defined as the cost incurred by the agency problem, and can include
training costs,
higher lending rates, training costs, loss of sales profit,
and long-term
loss of
costs
business growth,
like bankruptcy,
and long-term costs
of investment.
like bankruptcy and loss of investment. The PA problem poses risk of mitigation costs,
and risk
of market failure, and risk of future insolvency. But in almost all cases, the risk is unforeseeable until it actually occurs.
To introduce how can conflicts of interest be resolved? The cost of resolving conflicts of interest are referred to as agency costs. Agency theory looks at resolving these conflicts of interest through two ways. The first way of resolving conflicts of interest is resolving differences that have arisen between the goals and the desires of the principal and the agent. The second solution is clearing any asymmetric information between the parties, ensuring they are actively communicating and being transparent with each other. What happens if conflicts of interest remains unresolved? If conflicts of interest are unresolved, the resulting agency costs are amplified. Examples of amplified agency costs include three kinds. The first kind of amplified agency cost is legal cost for court battles. The second kind is cost of finding new contractors. And the last kind is cost of bankruptcy.
Hi, my name is Alicia and I will be discussing what SME firms should consider in order to establish a positive principal-agent relationship. Firstly, looking at the relationship from the principal's point of view, good and constant communication between the principal and the agent is crucial in order to ensure the goals of the agent are aligned with those of the company. Without this communication, conflicts of interest can arise, creating a negative relationship between the principal and the agent, leading to further issues if not resolved. To reduce the risk of any issues arising, the agent must operate in the best interest of the organisation. The principal must also establish a contract and have the agent sign it to allow all the costs to be passed on to the agent. When establishing a positive principal and agent relationship, the principal must be clear with their risk tolerance and guarantee the agent shares this tolerance so they are able to maintain a positive relationship and be able to agree on the same decisions. The agent is required to have aligned goals with the principal and the company's best interests at heart. Therefore, having the same tolerance is crucial to determine the optimal decision and outcome. Lastly, the principal needs to be clear and direct with their instructions to ensure the agent is certain of what needs to be carried out. With this clear communication, the principal and the agent should be able to maintain a positive correlation. looking at what small to medium enterprise firms should consider from an agent's perspective now. In order to maintain a positive relationship between the principal and the agent, the requirements for the agent must be consistent with those of the principal. The agent must make sure that their goals are aligned with those of the principal and ensure that they are working towards the same outcome. The agent must also ensure that they act in the best interest of both the principal and the business to avoid any issues from arising. Communication is essential, and the agent must be able to clearly communicate with the principal about what they are doing to reiterate they are both working towards the same desired goal. If agents and principals are unable to effectively communicate with one another, this leads to a conflict of interest known as information symmetry. This conflict prevents the two from having a positive relationship, therefore leading to further issues. The agent must discuss the risk tolerance with the principal and ensure they are working at the same level. If the agent has a higher or lower risk tolerance and acts using their own tolerance as opposed to the principal's, the agent is not acting within the principal's requirements and therefore will result in a conflict of interest to arise. Lastly, the agent needs to ensure that they are provided with sufficient and accurate instructions given by the principal to guarantee that they will be able to successfully carry out the task. In following these requirements for both the principal and the agent, they should be able to successfully achieve desired goals and be able to maintain a positive principal-agent relationship.